Hey y'all, welcome back to another bright and sunny edition of Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we are drinking Chimay Première from the Bières de Chimay out of Chimay, Belgium. Thank you for joining us. Chimay.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. Back to do that once again. Appreciate you checking out this video. I've got Andy in the attic. I've got Jay. Gentlemen, what are we drinking today? I'm Ben.
Chimay Première.
Nice.
And I'm sure you have your Chimay glasses, right?
I do not have a Chimay
You better
glass.
be sure.
I need one. I do not have one.
Me either. I'm just going to use a standard pint glass.
I got a tulip at least.
The chalice.
Yeah, that's nice. That is nice. That's nice too. Foamy though.
It's Belgian. They foam. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
It's been a while since I've had one. It's been about 5 years. Just had to savor it for a moment. The Chimay Première Red, known as the Red Chimay. Chimay Première, known as Red. 7%, 19 IBUs. It's a Belgian double. We had the white, triple or a quad. I can't remember. Which one that was? I think it's okay. So the Belgian double is dark, brown to very dark brown, malty sweetness, and can have kind of like a cocoa or caramel type of flavors. Medium to medium low hop bitterness, and yeast generated fruity esters. So that's your basic description of a Belgian double. This one in particular is noted for its copper color and as the first beer brewed by the monks at Chimay in 1862.
Wow.
Has fruity peach, orange, and apricot aroma from the fermentation. And it's got a sweet malty nougat and biscuit flavor. It is, being an ale, it's top fermented, but then it's re-fermented in the bottle, and they use Hallertau Mittelfreude hops. So I'll go over the brewery again a little bit. The Bières de Chimay out of Chimay, Belgium, in the Scourmont region, was the brewery records show as far back as 1862. It is a regional brewery, though about half of what they brew is exported, so that's why it's so readily available, at least to places that have a good beer selection. Not to me. In 1850, the group of Cistercian monks, and we learned this recently where they came from, West Vleteren, which did we recently reviewed that for our 3rd anniversary, that Trappist ale. So the monks went over to found a new, or to establish a new abbey or mission, and that was in Chimay. Starting, so they got there in 1850. They started with agriculture, they built it up, and then the brewery started in 1862, and then they later started with cheese. And so that they used the the mash, the spent mash to feed the cows for the milk to make their cheese. Chimay was the first to use the Trappist ale designation on its labels, and you can see it below the little crest there, Trappist ale. So, as we mentioned on the first Chimay, the Trappist is the original name for the order, or the original name is Order of Reformed Cistercians of Our Lady of Trappes at La Trappe Abbey in Normandy, France. So they were known as Trappist monks. And their way of living their life centered on manual labor in order to support the abbey and the surrounding community economically and with charity to the poor. Hence, Trappist products. So not just alcohol, but other goods.
So other goods are labeled Trappist as well.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Interesting.
And there's like 11 or 12 Trappist abbeys that produce, and 6 of them are in Belgium.
Interesting. All right.
'Tis all.
Has everybody had this one?
I've never
I've
logged
had
it, but I know I've had it.
Yeah, I know I've had it. In fact, I was just talking to my wife about the first time. I can remember the first time I had Chimay, and she and I were together when we lived in New York at a bar called Amity Hall in the NYU area. We were there watching the World Cup back in, gosh, it'd been the early 2010s, so maybe 2010. It might have been 2010, actually. Yeah, I think it was. Anyway, it's the first time I can remember having Chimay and remembering the kind of the red, white, and blue options that they had, at least at the bar there. And we was just kind of asking the question, which one's the most expensive? Because that's what she asked me. So I don't remember though specifically. But anyway, no,
Yeah.
Chimay's.
And then they also have the green, as Andy had alluded to.
I don't remember seeing the green.
It's newer because I think it was to commemorate 150 years.
Yeah.
But I'd never seen it ever until Jay gave a picture of the bottle shop, and like, hey, what do you want? And I was like, green Chimay?
Yep. All right. Well, Jay, you're bright and perky today.
Man, you were already reminiscing. Why didn't you just roll into your review?
It's okay, Andy.
I'm not ready yet.
He's not ready. It's been a long time since I've had this, so I don't typically go to the Chimay products that often. I probably should more because I really do like the Belgian style, especially Belgian doubles and quads and things like that. This one is really good, as always, with Chimay. It's interesting. I wouldn't have thought about the fruit notes on the aroma, but you when you put your nose over and smell it, I get more probably of the apricot than some of the peach, but it's an interesting angle there. It definitely has all that malty goodness that you would expect from a Belgian. A little bit of the biscuitiness, but it's not overpowering. It's great flavor, great color. It's an 8 for me.
All right, Andy, what do you think?
I too reminisce about the first time I got this. I got actually, and I don't know how she was able to do it. My wife, I don't know if it was anniversary or like a Father's Day or way back. It was before I was even on Untapped. And you got me like a Beers of the World. And this was one of them. And also, then later she got me the glassware. And I had that Chimay, and I was just like, I don't know if I'd, this is, so it's been over 12 years. So I've been on Untapped for about 12 years now. So it's been before that when I first tried it. And so that just blew my mind because I'd never was able to acquire a import Belgian double, something of this quality. So once I started getting on Untapped, I rated it very high. And then the more I drink, so this is like, you always remember your first. So it's special. And I've always liked the red better than the blue and the white. I guess it's got a little that maltier flavor to me. But drinking it again, and after we've had so many more, I think I bring my rating down from where I think I originally had it. But it's still a great beer to me. Because this is one that needs to kind of warm up a little bit, and you get a little more of the flavors. But in my mind, I remember a much richer tone to it, but now it doesn't taste quite as malty richness. But I'm still going to give it a good score. I'm going to give it an 8.5. I really like it. It's a classic. And I think part of that is due just to nostalgia and getting me really into the beer scene when I got that box of international beers. And that's where I got Xingu is out of that box. And that's, oh gosh, can't remember some of the others, but
wow. I didn't
I was a
realize
craft
you'd
beer
had,
guy after that.
yeah, I didn't realize you'd had Xingu that far back.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was more something you'd had about the time we started drinking or started doing the show. All right. So yeah, I've obviously had this one before as well. I think of the blue, white, and the red. I think the red's probably my least favorite. Now, it's great beer. So I'm not saying it's my least favorite. I don't like it. I'm just saying I like the other better. I think it's. I don't really know that I can pinpoint why. It's just the maybe it's the malty profile on it, and maybe I like the more alcohol flavor of the white. But I don't know. It's just not. It's not the one that I would. It's my least favorite. So I will definitely drink this though again and again and again because it is a great beer. So I don't want to say that and knock it down to where I'm saying I wouldn't drink it. I think it's an 8 for me. It's definitely one I will get from time to time, but I might pick it up less frequently than the other two, just because I don't like it quite as much. That is going to be an 8.2 for the Chimay Première, Chimay Red Chimay, Chimay in the red bottle, however you want to label it. It's the red one.
Chimay all day.
So definitely a great beer. One that if you've had, let us know what you think down in the comments. We would love to hear those. We also got some other links down there that you could check out. Lots of good information down there. But we are trying to make it to 500 subscribers by the end of 2025. So we would appreciate if you have not subscribed, please do so, or consider it at least consider it. And then if you have subscribed, go ahead and like this video. That will help us out, and we would appreciate that as well. We got some other links down there for some merch, some hardware, software, some glassware that we sometimes showcase on the show. So just check all that out if you are so inclined. With that, for Andy in the attic and Jay, I am Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. And it's just so fun to say Chimay.
Chimay.
Chimay.